Welcome back to the morning call. We jump into the trenches with the insurance names. Now, Scott, they performed pretty well this week because the impact from Irene was not as bad as everyone thought it could be. Short term, we like these better, but I'm a little bit unconvinced long term. I'm a little bit worried about the headline risk. We might see some reforms because insurers don't cover flood damage, and that's essentially what Hurricane Irene produced. So let's take a look at Travelers, which has performed really well this week.
All right, we're going to take a quick look here. Look at this lower pivot in Travelers. Like you said, I think short term there's a trade here. If this gets above 51, you do have some room to go. It could see this 54 level, maybe even a little bit higher. I think as a short term trade, you can get in there, and I think you make some money. But to your point, Jill, you know, as I said, I was in Vermont and I saw the flood damage. I saw houses get annihilated, and I'm hoping that there's something that can be done for them that don't have flood insurance and just had, you know, their umbrella policies or whatnot. Right. So I do think with all of the attention that Vermont and all these places are getting, there's going to be some reform down the road because that's what the government likes to do. They like to reform and make regulation, do bureaucracy. But anyway, so short-term trade, longer term, be a little bit more careful.
And on that note, we're happy to have you back and your family's safe. And so that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, it's our families before trading in the markets.
Exactly.
Speaking of family, you're in good hands with Allstate.
Let's take a quick look at here. The pattern looks very familiar. You know, it had an igniting move off this low. It's flagging well. If it holds above this 2581, I think you see a trade through this 2640 level, and this will have some room back to about 2760 before it meets, you know, support that will turn into resistance. So for here, I think you can make some cash flow back to around almost probably $28.
So speaking of reform and government intervention, let's look at AIG. There's multiple issues with this company, so this is even beyond Irene.
Yeah, AIG used to be a mover. In the last year or two, we made a living trading AIG because it had huge moves after it tightened up. But lately, it's really been a non-event. No one really focuses on it. I guess if we take a look at the chart, you will see, you know, just such small little ranges, no real volatility. I guess you could say that there is a level here that some might try and buy it if it starts getting above, you know, this 25.50. If you take a closer look, you know, that'll be interesting to see if it could get above. And if it does get above here, you could see a squeeze back up to about 27.60. I don't really like this company. I'm not going to get into it, but for a trade, you know, there you go.
Right. So overall, the insurance names, long-term fundamentally, I'm not quite convinced because of the headline risk. But those are three great stocks with some fantastic short-term trading opportunities, which again is what we're looking for. So let's move into quick hits for some quick cash and start off with Sprint. We spoke in